You ain't none of them. To all who just tuning in, y'all, we is at live at the dinner table, baby. You do what you want to do. But here we go. Yeah, Brittany back there eating right there on Zoom. Hey, y'all have to realize that, hey, she got to feed that baby.
Yes, so. But it's showing.
It's live. It just got a delay. That's all it is. It's just on a delay, baby. It's rolling. See? You know, Zoom just got a 2-3 minute delay. Everybody, you know what this is. Why you want to be?
Remember, we don't own copyright to this song.
Well, we don't own the copyright to this song. I'm sorry, everybody. This is not our song. But I did ask, could we use it for our introduction? So on our disclaimer, we're letting you know that that was not our song. We don't own the copyright to it. But guess what? You ain't no Egyptian either. You ain't no African. Huh? Get it right. You is an Israelite. Shalom, shalom to all who is out there in Zoom, YouTube, Facebook, and we be pre-recorded to put it on Anchor Podcast. We bid everybody shalom Sabbath. That means a complete Sabbath for y'all who's trying to figure out what we're talking about. And we want y'all to know that we're picking up where we started off with last week. We're dealing with counsel and might. These are the spirits that was on Emmanuel. Everybody want to come and start fighting me about names, but we ain't going to debate about no name because it says that name means that he will save his people from their sin. So that's the name we use. If anybody want to come and fight that, then you tell the book of Matthew, it was lying when the angel talked to Joseph and said, you know, that the prophets called him that. So we are dealing with the 7 spirits that were sent out that you and I better obtain if you want to be successful at what you're doing. We went over the first one, wisdom and understanding, and we completed that series. Last week, we started with counsel and deception and might, and we were led that we have to go through the whole 66 books to show you. But on this week, we got a treat. Do y'all hear me? We got a treat for you this week. I'm going to show you something that everybody been taught and everybody follow the teaching. But when you see what we're going to show you, you're going to look and say to yourself, why has I been this long deceived? First, you're going to get my wife. Say, hey, Natasha. That's my wife, y'all. That's the queen of the kingdom. See how she looking? That queen of the kingdom. And every man out there know about how you're supposed to do your queen. All you court jesters, hey, we want y'all to take examples from the kings. And that's why y'all a bunch of court jesters. Come on here. Come on and give us a prayer.
Father, y'all, we just thank you for there is none like you, Father.
Yes.
Father, this is the day that you have made, and we're going to rejoice and we're going to be glad in it, Father.
Yes.
Father, as we come before to do this series on today, Father, y'all, we ask for your anointing because the anointing is what destroys the yokes, Father.
Yes, Father.
Father, we ask that you break up the fallow ground in the ears of the listeners, Father. Father, they'll be able to receive your word and it will fall on good ground, Father, and it will produce that you sent it out to do, Father.
Yes.
Because you said your word wouldn't go out to you with void in return. Your word wouldn't go out to you and return it to you void, but it accomplished that pleases you, Father, y'all.
Yes,
so we ask that your will be done.
Your will
we
be
plead
done.
the blood of your son, Emmanuel, against every assignment, every attack over this internet wave and over any disruption that will cause a hindrance to your word.
Yes.
Father, we ask that the word will cause change in someone's life to let them know, Father God, that they are not alone, that you still say hi, you look low, and that you love them, Father God. And right now we take authority over the thought that the enemy is playing with the minds of the people, saying, oh, that's not for me, or I've done too much, that he won't forgive me. That's a lie from the pits of hell. And we plead the blood of your son, Emmanuel, against it. As long as there is life in you, there is nothing that the Father, or is not too late for the Father to forgive, heal, deliver, and to set free. So, Father, Yah, we ask that you dwell among us in this service on today. All these blessings we ask and give thanks to your son, Emmanuel. Amen.
Amen. You got them stop in the corner. Now that is what we call respect. We see you over there, Zion. You don't stop because mom's praying, but that's okay. That's okay. This is what we teach. This is what we do. And trust me, we have a lot of people who you will see coming through and whatnot because we is live. And charity starts at home and spread abroad. So, come on.
Yes, y'all, don't forget, this is a dinner table discussion like this at your home. Where everybody gets in and begin to, talk and have questions, have a question. So we have 2 phone lines that y'all can call. One of them is 1-864-438-7236. And the other one is 864-236-1002. So we're here with questions, and we're going to do our best to answer the question when you call in.
Hey, you see that? And that's what teamwork is about. Now we're going to go back and jump right into this word because I ain't kidding. We got a long journey, but we got short time to get there. Everybody who got to King James, hey, Miracle, say hey to the people. You hear saying hey, them the twins that you just seen. They is going into the other part. So they say they don't want to be seen. It's too late. They never been seen. Okay. Now, we're going to the book of Joshua because we're starting with the prophets. This is a series that's going to go through all prophets. In Christianity, there's called minor and major prophets, but there's no such thing. They is all just prophets. It's just that some that the scribe wrote books on and made it seem like the day was major. But if you understand the words that the prophets were saying, everybody played a vital part in the Old Testament. Or here, let me introduce you to the real word, the Old Covenant. We are Hebrew. So you're going to hear a lot of Hebrew on this broadcast. No offense to nobody else. Y'all stand up for what y'all believe in. And since we found out that that book that you took in your hand is our history, so now we know to take up our history. Joshua, the 3rd chapter. And it's going to be the 7th verse. And this is counsel. See, we got 3 lines of understanding. So if you want to do it, this is the way that you divide it. First scriptures you be hearing will be counsel. And if I'm not mistaken, you're going to do counsel. Okay, I'm going to do the counsel. She's going to do the mic. And in between, we'll tag team this thing. Because Brittany feeding the baby. So we'll get her introduced into this thing too. We had Joshua, 3rd chapter, starting at the 7th verse. And everybody, I'm reading out the 2009 edition. So it will not read like your King James Version because we are King James Version. Okay. Joshua, the 4th chapter, excuse me. Starting at the 1st verse, and we'll read down through the 3rd verse. Joshua 4, 1 through 3. And this is the council. And it came to be when the entire nation had completely passed over Jordan, which is Jordan, that Yah spoke to Joshua. And our book is Joshua, saying, take for yourself 12 men from the people, one from every tribe, and command them, saying, take for yourself 12 stones, and from here, out of the midst of Jordan, for the place where the priests stood firm, and you shall bring them with you and leave them in the camp in which you spend the night. Now, this was counsel where he began to talk to them. Now we are waiting because I'm going to give you a hint. Joshua had no deception. Everybody talks about all these other people, but they don't see how much obedient Joshua really was. So we're going to show you how obedient. There was never no deception. Something as minor as picking up stones, toting them. Then now you grab you 12 stones, toting. Let me show you the might from these being obedient. Come on.
Joshua 4, 18 through 24. And it came to be when the priests who bore the ark of the covenant of Yah had come from the midst of the Jordan, and the soles of the priests' feet touched the dry land, that the waters of the Jordan returned to their place and flowed over all its banks as before.
Now y'all hear that?
And the people came up from the Jordan on the 10th day of the first new moon, and they camped in Gilgal on the east border of Jericho.
Yeah.
And those 12 stones which they took out of the Jordan.
What? Wait. Did you talk about the 12 rocks? 12 rocks. The 12 rocks they took out of Jordan. Come on.
Joshua was set up in Gilgal. And he said to the children of Israel, saying, when your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, what are these stones? Then you shall let your children know, saying, Israel passed over this Jordan on dry land. For Yah your Elohim dried up the waters of the Jordan before you until you had passed over, as Yah your Elohim did to the Sea of Reeds, or the Red Sea, they like to call it.
Yes.
Which he dried up before us until we had passed over, so that all the peoples of the earth shall know the hand of Yah that is strong, so that you shall fear Yah your Elohim forever.
Now you see where it was simply, come on through, baby. It was simply 12 stones to pick up. Say, hey, Desiree, you on the camera. Huh? You be all right. Go ahead and get it. 12 stones. Y'all see, we are way different from all these other people who trying to act like that they got all this professional setup. No, we're just plain servants of Yah, bringing a plain message. Nothing beeped up, nothing studio active, just plain word. Now you see, 12 stones, obedience, get you another place where he dried up the river. Y'all heard about the Red Sea, how when Moses stretched forth his rod, the Red Sea part, and they walked over on dry land. Now here is Joshua doing the same identical thing, just because the Father wanted to show everybody just how his mighty hand is what we finna do. He said, this is what I'm finna do. This is what's going on. I'm gonna prove to you on today. I want you to pick up these stones, and wherever you go to sleep this night, place these stones down, because why? This is the story that you're gonna tell everybody. But he did not stop there. I need you to come to me, to Joshua, the 3rd chapter. You're going to start at the 7th, because remember, counsel. First, let me give you an understanding what counsel is. Counsel is whenever the Father is talking to you. This is what's wrong with us movement today. We don't know when the Father is talking to us because we're so busy serving that idol. I know y'all ain't gonna like this, but it's true. You have done heard the voice of the idol so long that whenever the voice of Yah speak to you, they have taught you. Well, how you know that it's the voice of Yah? I'll show you how you know that's the voice of Yah, because these people was not, as y'all say, Holy Ghost filled. They wasn't Holy Ghost filled. But Yah spoke to them. So my question is this: how use more better? That if he speak to those who don't have it in them and direct them and do things for them. Well, my question is this: how is we so much better? Watch this. We go into Joshua, the 3rd chapter, verse 7. Yah said unto Joseph, this day I begin to make you great before the eyes of all Israel, so that they know that I am with you as I was with Moses. Now that just gave you the backup counsel to the scriptures we just read. I was with Moses and I'm gonna make you great, and show them that just as I was with Moses, I was with you. With Moses, he parted the Red Sea, right? Okay. So with Joshua, what happened in them other verses that we just read? Joshua 4.
Parted the sea from sea.
He parted the sea and they walked across on dry land. Well, let me show you the might of this one. Come on.
That would be coming from Joshua, the 3rd chapter, verses 8 through 17.
See, watch this.
And you command the priests who bear the ark of the covenant, saying, when you come to the edge of the water of Jordan, stand in Jordan.
Yeah.
And Joshua said to the children of Israel, come near and hear the words of Yah, your Elohim. And Joshua said, by this you shall know that the living El is in your midst.
Yes.
And that he is certainly driving out from before you the Canaanites and the Hittites,
yes,
and the Hivites,
yes,
and the Perizzites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Jebusites.
Yes.
See, the ark of the covenant of the master of all the earth is passing over before you into the yard.
Yes.
And now take for yourselves 12 men from the tribes of Israel, 1 man from every tribe. And it shall be as soon as the soles of the feet of the priests who bear the ark of Yah, the master of all the earth, come to rest in the waters of the Jordan, that the waters of the Jordan are cut off, the waters that come down from upstream, and stand as a heap. And it came to be when the people set out from their tents to pass over the Jordan, with the priests bearing the ark of the covenant before the people. And as those bearing the ark came to the Jordan, and the feet of the priests bearing the ark dipped in the edge of the water.
Dip at the edge. Listen now.
Now the Jordan overflows all its banks during all the time of harvest. That the waters which came down from upstream stood still.
Stop right there, stood still.
And rose in a heap very far away at El, the city that is beside Sarathim. And the waters going down unto the sea of the Abra, the Salt Sea, were completely cut off.
Completely.
And the people passed over opposite Jericho. And the priest bearing the ark of the covenant of Yah stood firm on dry ground in the midst
it was wet.
of the Jordan. Dry.
Come on now.
In the midst of the Jordan. And all Israel passed over on dry ground until all the nation had completely passed over the Jordan.
Now you heard the counsel. Father said, I'm going to show and work a thing with you, Joshua, to show that I am with you. And I'm going to make you great. Just like I was with Moses. Now that scriptures just backed up and collaborated the first two scriptures we read, where they put the 12 rocks down, where they were sleeping, to show. Okay, y'all did this. But I know we got a lot of y'all out there that don't believe it, don't want to understand it, don't want to do it. So
I would just like to say, well, ask a question.
Ask the question. Ask your question.
When he said, when Father Yah said that he was going to make Joshua greater than Moses, even though we comparing the Red Sea with the Reed Sea, right? I got 2 seas right.
Right.
So when Moses did what he did, it wasn't during the time. See, Joshua's arm was greater because you had all the water coming from different things that was melting and in other words, as if it was coming together, clashing. But see, with all of it coming down, he showed his might right here for Joshua.
Oh, you better come on
when he stopped it, when he had him in it on the dry ground was completely the same. But because of the way that the waters was coming and they went back up and was held there, that was greater than what was done with Moses.
See, everybody didn't understood. Moses stretched out his rod and the waters part. They stuck their foot in and the waters part. See, it's a difference. And I'm going to tell y'all something. It's a difference when you steady, call yourself, obeying a written law that really, truly, you don't know who wrote it, and you don't know what they put it in. But whenever it's a spoken word, that's different. What you mean, Eddie? I'll show you this. This would counsel me. Come on with me. I'm gonna sing that little song. Come on to my room. Okay, anyway. Come with me to Judges, 4th chapter. You're gonna start at the 4th through the 6th verse. Remember, this is at the dinner table now. The phone lines are open. If you want to text us, we're on the Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Zoom. Y'all can get us anyway you want. Now we is dealing with all the prophets. We at Judges now. Now this been really, and I have some surprises. All y'all who sitting out there saying about how a woman is this, and a woman can't do that, a woman ain't this, a woman ain't that. Well, for some reason, this book here prove all that crap that you were taught. It proving it to be wrong, a lie, a farce, just a pure dictatorship to be against and have control over somebody. What you mean? I want you to hear. And Deborah, a prophetess and a wife of Leopold, was ruling Israel at that time. Now tell me, how many men was up under her roof? Since you say you don't assert a woman to have authority, you took that verse completely out of context, and you created a whole ministry over the wrong thing being interpreted the wrong way. That verse had nothing to do with did a woman have the power to rule. That verse had all to do with we are in a meeting and we don't want nobody to speak out of turn. So many of the women were speaking out of turn. That's why, as you heard Saul say, he didn't want them to usher authority, meaning that they got more power to speak when the rules say don't speak. That's why he said, if you want to learn something, learn it from your husband at home, not at the meeting. Because what we're going to do at the meeting, we're going to state what we got to state, and that's it. But I know your Christianity teaching teach you something different. And let me show you what set apart teaching. Set apart said, and she was dwelling under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel, the mountains of Ephraim, and the children of Israel came up to her for the right ruling. Wait a minute. I thought that she couldn't have authority. But everybody came up to her to hear the word. Now, this is the most important thing that blows all y'all trying to act like that you, all this Judaism and all this crazyism and Catholicism. I'm going to give you some isms in a few seconds. They all came to her for the right room. And she said, call for Barak, son of Ammon, Abino, okay, Abino, from Kadesh in Nepal, and said to him, has not Yah, Elohim of Israel, commanded, go, you shall draw towards the mountain, Tabor, and shall take with you 10,000 men of the sons of Nabal and Zebulun. And I'm hoping that I'm still right. Yeah. That is the verse. Now, this is the counsel. What Deborah is sharing with who's supposed to be in charge, right? You want to read the deception? Come on and read the deception. Right.
Okay. Judges 4:8. And Barak said to her, if you go with me, then I shall go. But if you don't go with me, I do not go.
Well, wait a minute. Now, hold this thing here now. You mean to tell me that even the word of Yah wasn't enough to convince him to go without Deborah?
So if you don't go, I'm not going.
Now that's your deception. See, this is what gets us on today. Instead of we following the word of the Most High, we'll follow the word of man. If the pastor tell you don't read, you don't read. If the pastor tell you everybody say hallelujah, because we all was in there. Everybody all high. Pastor raise up his hands. When he bring his hand down, everybody quiet down. What kind of mess? So you mean to tell me that man is over the Most High?
Not supposed to be.
Okay, let's see what his mic says.
His mic says in that same chapter of Judges, the 4th, verses 16 through 21. But Barak pursued the chariots and the army as far as Harosheth Hagon, and all the armor of Caesarea fell by the edge of the sword. Not one was left. Caesarea, meanwhile, had fled on foot to the tent of Yael, the wife of Herbert, the Queenite, for there was peace between Yabin, sovereignty of Asa, and the house of Eber, the Queenite. And Yael went out to meet Sisera
Mhm.
and said to him, turn aside, my master.
Turn aside.
Turn aside to me.
Come on
Do
here.
not fear.
Don't worry.
So he turned aside with her into the tent, and she covered him with a blanket.
Yes.
And he said to her, please give me a little water to drink, for I am thirsty.
I'm thirsty.
So she opened a bottle of milk
Mhm.
and gave him a drink
Yes.
and covered him.
Uh-huh. It's not what he asked for. He asked for water, but she gave him milk.
And he said to her,
What he said?
stand at the door of the tent.
Stand at the door.
And it shall be, if anyone comes and asks you and says, is there a man here? You shall say no. But Uriah, Herbert's wife, took a tent peg
Uh-huh.
and took a hammer in her hand and went softly to him and drove the peg into the side of his head.
Mhm.
And it went down into the ground, for he was fast asleep and exhausted, and he died.
So that means that, let me get his name right. I want to make sure I call his name right. Barak got no kind of glory because of him.
It was told.
It was told.
Deborah told.
What Deborah told him?
She told.
Find the verse and show it to him. Don't play with me. Y'all come on here. We know good and well.
Right here in verse 8
Verse 8.
of Judges 4. And she said, I shall certainly go with you.
Uh-huh.
Only there shall be no exceed for you in this journey you are taking. For Yah is going to sell Sisera unto the hand of a woman.
Wait a minute. I thought you said that a woman don't supposed to have no authority. A woman is supposed to just sit down. A woman can't teach. A woman can't do nothing. So now in this book, it shows me that you better than Yah. Because if Yah is giving this man into the hand of a woman, and it says, so Deborah arose and went with her. Wait a minute. Hold your horses. So you mean to tell me somebody ain't true here? Somebody ain't adding up.
Yeah, I think.
Come on here. What?
I don't know what Barak's problem was, but when he inquired of her to find out what the father said,
Right.
he should have just took it as what he said. But she even went along and said that you're gonna win, but you're not gonna get credit for the victory of killing this person. But see, Deborah didn't have no problem with going with him because she knew what the father had told her. See, sometimes you have to go in spite of what somebody else is saying. You have to go when the other person might not have that complete belief like they should.
Right.
And she went because she knew what the father had given her to say to this man.
And it ended up somebody else, another woman, killing this man and get the glory. Yeah. Who wasn't even in the battle, who wasn't even around the fight, who wasn't even in the army. This goes to show you, and I want everybody to hear me out there and on all these platforms we are. This goes to show you that if you don't obey the voice, nothing was written here. There wasn't no Bible that they go by, that y'all trying to go by today. Say, oh, this is what we're supposed to go by. All that was written was an account. You try to hold me to something, and I'm going to say this clearly. You trying to hold me to something that saves nobody. Now you help me out on that. But I'm going to help you out and show you what I'm talking about. Go with me. Judges, 6th chapter, 12 to the 23rd verse. You got it? Come on, help me. I want you to read this.
You say Judges 6, 6,
6.
and 6.
No, 6, 12.
Go to 12.
Go to 12. I'm going to show them counsel. We are in counsel. This is counsel.
And the message of Yah appeared to him and said to him, Yah is with you, you mighty brave one.
You mighty brave one.
And Gideon said to him.
What Gideon say?
Gideon said to him.
What he say?
Oh, my master, if Yah is with us, why has all this come upon us?
Stop right there. That's the same question that a lot of you heathens ask. If there's a God, why are they suffering in Africa so much? Why are the children going hungry? Why in the world we are homeless? Okay. A lot of times you don't realize why all this is happening. It's because the wages of sin is death. Whether you want to believe it or not. You're getting paid for the exact thing that you put out. So as a man soweth, so shall he reap. When you was up and you was going and you were doing, you ain't cared for nobody. Huh? Y'all come on here. You didn't care for nobody. Nobody could tell you nothing. Nobody could show you nothing when you was up and balling, shot calling. Come on here. Oh, Brittany, did you hear that? Woo. Balling, shot calling. But watch what Gideon said.
And we're
Crank that thing up.
Are all his wonders which our fathers related to us, saying, did not Yah bring us up from Misrah?
Yeah.
But now Yah has left us and given us into the hands of Midian. And Yah turned to him and said, now this is Yah talking to Gideon.
Wait, who?
It say, and Yah turned to him and said.
So you mean the message? Yah done told the messenger, hush. Let me talk to him.
He say,
hush, let me talk to him. See?
He say, go in this strength of yours, and you shall save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have I not sent you?
Wait a minute.
And he said to him, oh Yah, with what do I save Israel? See, my clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house.
Come on here.
And Yah said to him, because I am with you,
yes,
you shall strike the Midianites as one man. And he said to him, please, if I have found favor in your eyes, then show me a sign that it is you who are speaking with me. Please do not move away from here.
Don't move away from here.
Until I come to you and bring out my offering and set it before you. And he said, I shall stay until you return. And Gideon went in and prepared a young goat and unleavened bread from an ephah of flour. The meat he put in a basket, and he put the broth in a pot, and he brought them out to him under the turnip tree and presented them. Now, and the messenger of Elohim said to him,
okay, now, decipher and get it right now.
This is the messenger.
This is the messenger. This is not y'all. This is the messenger. Now, just you want to understand. Don't think y'all has gone. Because he asked y'all to sit there. Don't think he has gone. Watch this. Just gonna prove what I'm saying. Come on.
And the messenger of Elohim said to him, take the meat and the unleavened bread and lay them on this rock and pour out the broth.
Yeah.
And he did so. And the messenger of Yah put forth the end of the staff that was in his hand and touched the meat and the unleavened bread. And fire went up out of the rock and consumed the meat and the unleavened bread. And the Messiah and the messenger of Yah went from his sight.
Come on. Okay, wait a minute. Right. Yeah. Come on down, 20.
And when Gideon saw that he was a messenger of Yah, Gideon said, O Master Yah, for I have seen a messenger of Yah face to face. And Yah said to him, peace be with you. Do not fear, you do not die.
Now, All y'all who's sitting up here talking about, he don't talk to me. All y'all sitting up here talking about, you don't know the voice. All y'all sitting up here talking about, I asked this dumb question. Do you know what spirit talking to you? My question is this, and I'm going to stick it to everyone out there. If you don't know the voice of Yah, you're not none of his. Plain simple. Because he said, my sheep know my voice, and a stranger they won't follow. See, this is where your religious push got you so tore up. Because you're so used of the religion. You're not used to what is real. See, this is why he said that in the latter days, I'm going to place, oh boy, it's in your heart, meaning that I don't have to have it written in front of me no more. I don't have to go and say, well, you know what the law of Moses is. Don't worry, I'm going to teach on that in another subject. And we're going to show you about how much law it is of Moses. Watch this. Come on with me to Judges 6, 34 through 40. And let's hear the conclusion. Oh, okay. This is deception. Sorry, I'm going to the mic because I'm ready for mic, but I got to give you a little deception. Let's do the deception. Judges 6, 30 to 33. Everything that Jews hear me is saying is Bible. So if I'm lying behind y'all. All your naysayers, all your contradictors, all y'all, if I'm lying behind him. Because if you can't read it for yourself, then that something must be wrong with you. Come on. This is the deception.
Judges 6, 30 through 33.
Uh-huh.
And the men of the city said to Joash, bring out your son.
Bring me that boy.
So that he died.
So he died.
So he has broken down the slaughter place of Baal, and because he has cut down the Asher that was beside it. And Joash said to all who stood against him, would you plead for Baal? Will you wait. Since you're so strong, and this is the next thing y'all need to ask, the next time, whenever they come defending this Slewfoot preacher, you need to tell him, come on, tell him the words they need to tell him. Come on here. You would save him? You gonna save the preacher? Let the one who would plead for him be put to death by morning. Yes, okay, so since he's so right, give your life. If he is a mighty one, let him plead for himself. If he's so strong, let him talk for himself. Because his slaughter place has been broken down. Yes. So that day, he called him Jerubbaal. Why? Let Baal plead against him, because he has broken down his slaughter place. Now all Midian and Amalek and the people of the east were gathered together, and they passed over and encamped in the valley of Jezreel. So they got so mad. But my question is this: if he was such a God, and I want y'all to hear me on this, ding, 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 this is what you call knowledge alert. If he was such a God, how a man tore him up? What? If he was so mighty, how a man tore him up? How a man tore down all his kingdom and tore his as you call, what it called, the sacrifice place. How you bust all that up? Don't you think? Watch this. Whenever, and I'm gonna give you a quick preview. David was coming back with the Ark of Covenant, and everybody was singing and dancing. And the one that called Hagan, which was one of the servants, saw that the ark was about to tip and fall off the wagon. So Hagan ran up there and caught the ark, and immediately he died. So my question is this: to all y'all who've been serving that idol for last long, I dare you. There was a preacher who did it. He took a hammer to that idol, bust the head of the baby that was supposed to be in the idol, and nothing happened. Just like right here.
with Gideon. He tore up that idol place, and what happened? People went crazy. Want to kill him. Let me show you the mind of Yah. Come on.
That's in Judges 6:34-40.
Come on.
Then the spirit of Yah came upon Gideon, and he blew the shofar, and the Abzarites gathered behind him.
Come on.
And he sent messengers throughout all the nations, who also gathered behind him. And he sent messengers to Asher and to Zebulun and to Naphtali, and they came up to meet them.
Yeah.
And Gideon said to Elohim, if you are saving Israel by my hand, as you have said,
yeah.
See, I'm placing a fleece of wool on the threshing floor.
Oh, y'all play me now. Come on,
there is dew only on the fleece, and it is dry on all the ground. Then I shall know that you are saving Israel by my hand, as you have said. And it was so. And he rose early in the next morning and pressed the fleece and wrung dew out of the fleece to fill a bowl with water.
Wow, he filled a whole bowl of water. The fleece was just that wet.
And Gideon said to Elohim,
wait a minute. Was the ground wet?
Nope, the ground was dry.
No, it couldn't be.
That's what he asked.
So he asked Elohim,
that if you're
gonna save, then I want, look at that. Now, think about that. How would that convince you that the fleece is wet, but the ground is dry? Maybe somebody tipped through that night and poured water on the fleece, ain't it? Huh? A bear came and urinated on it, ain't it? Huh? A camel got tired, laid on it, sweated up, and disappeared in the morning. No? Well, come on, then. Tell me what happened. How the fleece and all this went on.
And verse 39, and Gideon said to him, Elohim, do not be displeased with me, and let me speak only this time. Please let me try only this time with the fleece. Please let it be dry only on the fleece, and let there be dew on all the ground. And Elohim did so that night, and it was dry on the fleece only, but there was no dew on all the ground.
Well, I want to ask y'all something. Point out any other mighty that was able to do this. See, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you was right. Yeah. He's on the sand right. Don't get me wrong. You have seen a lot of mighty works. Everybody who I know say, why you stay in the Old Testament so long? Don't worry. You ain't got to worry. Since you want to call it the Old Testament. Testament means somebody tell you something. Testament means that you wrote something down, account of an event. These was not testament. This is a covenant. This is something between you and the Creator. Y'all have not understood this yet. You keep on trying to nullify or dumbify the connection that the Father had with his people. This is a covenant. This is the old covenant. And this old covenant from Genesis all the way up into Joshua, we're going to do Samuel, have shown you counsel, deception, and might. Watch this. Shall we go on? Yes, we is going on. Everybody who want to go on, come on and follow us on. We're going on to 1 Samuel, 3rd chapter. I will start at the 11th verse. You go ahead, honey, buddy.
And Yah said to Samuel, see, I am doing a matter in Israel at which both ears of everyone who hears it shall tingle. And in that day I shall confirm against Eli all that I have spoken concerning his house from beginning to end.
Now, all ears who are listening now to this broadcast live, I want every ear to know that whenever y'all say something, You can get your buckets ready. Here be your huckleberry. You can get your buckets ready, baby. You can go pick it. Because see, a lot of y'all have lost the fear of y'all. This is why you do what you do and say what you do and treat people the way you do. But trust me, all that was concerning Eli and his house, you watch this. What was the deception, baby?
The deception coming from 1 Samuel, the 4th chapter.
1 Samuel 4, we going on.
4, 5, 6, and 7. And the people sent to Shiloh, and they brought from there the ark of the covenant of Yah of hosts. Dwelling between the cherubim and the 2 sons of Eli.
Yes.
Hophni and Phinehas was there with the ark of the covenant of Elohim. And when the ark of the covenant of Yah came into the camp, all Israel shouted so loudly that the earth shook. And when the Philistines heard the noise of the shout, they said, "What is the noise of this great shout in the camp of the Hebrews?" And when they knew that the ark of Yah had come into the camp, the Philistines were afraid.
They were scared.
For they said, "Elohim has come in the camp." And they said, "Woe to us, for it has never been like this before."
Come on. Now, I want you to think about it. I need you to come on and read a little bit further.
Okay. Verse 8. Woe to us, who shall deliver us from the hand of these mighty Elohim?
There you go.
These are the Elohim who struck the Misthites with all the plagues in the wilderness. Be strong and be mean, you Philistines, that you do not become servants of the Hebrews, as they have been to you. Be men and fight.
Now, any other time when they bring the Ark of Covenant down, somebody better watch out. Because the hand of Yah tore them up, tore them up, tore them up. Even in this same book, he didn't only tore up man, he made a idol, bow down and worship him. He made an idol, cut the idol hand and head off, and placed it, that the people got so afraid that they said, get them out, get them out, get them out. But y'all don't believe me. So since you don't believe me, let me give you and show you through the word. We're going to Samuel, the 4th chapter, 11 through the 21st verse, 10 little verses, and it's going to prove to you what I'm saying. The might, we is on the might. The might. Woo! Come on,
and
do it on time. The might.
And the ark of Elohim was captured, and the 2 sons of Eli died, Hophni and Phinehas.
So the boys died.
And a man of Benjamin ran from the battle line the same day and came to Shiloh with his garments torn and dirt on his face. And he came in and saw Eli sitting on his seat by the wayside watching. But his heart trembled for the ark of Elohim.
Wow.
And the man came into the city and reported it, and all the city cried out. Woo. And Eli heard the noise of the outcry and said, "What is this noise of this uproar?" What? And the man came hastily and informed Eli. Now Eli was 98 years old, and his eyes were so dim that he was unable to see. And the man said to Eli, "I am he who came from the battle, and I fled today from the battle line." And he said, "What was the matter?
What was the matter,
my son?" And the messenger answered and said, "Israel has fled before the Philistines.
What?
And there has been a great slaughter among the people. And your 2 sons have died.
Wait a minute.
Hophni and Phinehas, and the ark of Elohim has been captured."
Wait a minute. How did they capture the Ark of the Covenant? Kill the 2 boys whenever Israel brought the ark in, and everybody was shouting and screaming. Everybody began to praise, Hosanna! Even the Philistines begin to get scared.
They ain't have no counsel. They were just doing on their own.
Oh, okay.
Ain't nobody come and told them to take the ark of the covenant to the war battle, to the battle.
You mean you can't just do it because this is your duty?
No, you can't do it because it worked before. You need counsel. You need to hear the Father is saying.
Hold still. Let me take a drink on that now.
He did the same thing Saul did, just taking it upon himself. Nobody told Saul to do no offering, no ascending and peace offering. You remember?
We'll be right here in Sandy now. You way up in Saul. Come on now. You moving on up. Come on here. Stay with me, Weezy Jefferson. Stay with me.
Oh my goodness. Verse 18.
We don't want to move up yet.
It came to be when he
Hang with me.
mentioned on the ark of Elohim.
What?
That Eli fell off the seat back by the side of the gate.
Wait a minute. That thing blew Eli off the seat too.
And his neck was broken.
Oh.
And he died.
Oh.
For the man was old and heavy, and he ruled Israel 40 years.
Oh my goodness.
So he didn't even really respond. He was hurt, but he didn't really respond when he told him about his son.
No, he knew they were going to die all the ruthless mess them niggas undone. He knew that.
Yeah,
he knew that. He knew pretty soon that they weren't going to make it.
Huh? He was shocked about that.
But when they said that they captured and took the ark, that was it. He couldn't believe that. Wait a minute, how you took the ark? And the young man died for picking up the ark. But now you want to take the ark. See, everybody don't realize, I want everybody out there in every platform to hear me. Everything that happened to you that you think is bad, but it is for the making of you. Everything that he's done, it is for, you got people steady talking to you. It is for, there you go, you can get it. It is for the upbuilding of you. All your hardships, all the problems, all the letdowns you think you meant it for bad, he meant it to show you and to mold you and to make you into a perfect person. You don't believe me? Okay then.
And it came to be when he made mention, in verse 19.
Okay, come on.
And his daughter-in-law,
Phineas. Just like Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas' wife was pregnant, about to bear.
She was a baby. Had a baby. She was pregnant with a baby.
And when she heard the news that the ark of Elohim was taken, and that her father-in-law and her husband were dead, she bowed herself and gave birth because her pains came upon her. Oh, she gave birth. That thing was so shocking that she gave birth. Come on, Hannah. And about the time of her death, the woman who stood by her said to her, do not fear, for you have bore a son. Yes, you brought a son. Yay, don't fear. But she did not answer. Didn't answer. Why? Nor did she set her ear to ear. Why? And she called the child Ichabod, saying, the esteem has departed from Israel, because the ark of Elohim was taken, and because of her father-in-law and her husband. Ichabod. What does the name Ichabod mean? The esteem has departed from Israel. See, a lot of y'all going to these churches where Ichabod is running around. Huh? That's right. There you go, that's you right. You laugh because you was in there. All your musical talents is in there. All your entertainment is in there. But when the preacher get up, everybody go to sleep. They start to yawn, saying we done been in here too long. The spirit of Yah is not in there. All they do is talk to you happy for a few minutes. And then you walk out and get in an argument as soon as you get in the car. Oh, come on. I want y'all to think about this. Think about this. We're going
1 Samuel 8. And I'm going to show you why in the world it's so important for you to get the counsel before you do anything. This is counsel. We is at 1 Samuel 8, verse 7 through 9. And Yah said to Samuel, listen to the voice of the people and all that they say to you, for they have not rejected you. I want everybody to hear me on this one. He told Samuel, they did not reject you. Well, why didn't they reject you? But they have rejected me from reigning over them, according to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Mizraim, even to this day, forsaking me and serving other mighty ones. So they are doing to you too. Just letting you know. The reason why y'all don't know the voice of Yah, because you still serving that idol. Huh? You have put the, watch this, you have put the sacrifice and made it your savior. Now, I'm not going to go into all that, but I'm going to let you know. It's time for you to choose and realize that you're going to worship that one that hang on that cross around your neck, or guy hang on that cross in your house, or got that picture of that blonde hair flowing fella with both his hands up, showing wounds and scars with a bleeding heart. Is you going to continue to do that and give him the praise and give him the honor? Or is you going to come and worship the real one? Because why? Okay, I'm doing verse 8 now. And now listen to their voice. But you should certainly warn them and shall make known to them the ruling of the sovereign who does reign over them. See, you don't realize he loves you that much that you can continue to do the crap you want. And he'll let you go on because he don't force himself on nobody. Now we're going to go to Samuel, that same chapter, 8th chapter. Roll it down to the 19th verse. And this is your deception.
However,
what?
However, the people refused to listen to the voice of Samuel. And said, no. But let a sovereign be over us.
No.
Then we shall be, we also, like all the nations. And our sovereign shall rule us and go out before us and fight our battle. I want you to back up and read that connection thing that every one of these churches always say. Read it again. However, the people refused to listen to the voice of Samuel and said no. But let a sovereign be over us. A little bit more. Then we shall be. We also, like all the nations, and our sovereign shall rule us and go out before us and fight our battle. See, everybody want to be just like everybody, huh? Everybody still want to have the best choir, so you go up there and everybody compete. All the preachers get up there and preach so hard to compete because they want to be like everybody, huh? If Jamie got a jet, why can't I get a jet, huh? If Pastor Rod riding in a limousine, why can't I ride in a limousine, huh? Because why? You know, we all got our own mighty ones. So hey, you know what? Put me my mighty one over me, that I may be like everybody else. That's the problem. Go what? My thing is. That's the what? Problem. Oh, it's a problem. Yeah, my thing is, why would you want a natural human being? Huh? I had to turn around and make sure there wasn't nobody talking behind me. To make sure that they would be your mighty one, that's your sovereign. I mean, why would you want a natural man? Well, it's the same thing like on every Sunday when you pay that man to tell us what we could have read our own self. Help me out here now. We pay him our tithes and all that he give us the same word in the book
that whenever you tell everybody to open your books to chapter 25, you read the same word yourself.
I'm just saying that when you think about it,
Okay, all right.
why would you just want? Why? I mean, I'm just saying people would want. It's so much of this thing that you can see with your eyes. But when you done had and you done heard of how the Father wrought victories for you,
Right.
then you want to put him aside for a mere man. A man, a human being. Well, I guess the same way they did when they built that calf on ago.
Mhm. That
But
calf,
what is the
that
problem?
calf brought them out of this.
This just
Not only that, it's the same way when you can vote a preacher in and vote a preacher out. What the world? He ain't talking the way I want to talk. Let's vote him out. Everybody in favor say amen, amen. Vote preacher, you got to go. Pack up his family and get out the house. Because why? Your deacons and them have more power than you do. You better stop, girl. Come on here. Come on here.
okay.
We got a little bit more time. Yes, come on.
The mic is gonna come from 1 Samuel 12 chapter.
This is the mic.
Starting from the 12th down to the 18th verse.
Oh, you do it, girl.
And when you saw
Mm-hmm.
that Nashon, sovereign of the children of Ammon,
Uh-huh.
came against you, you said to me,
What?
no, but let a sovereign reign over us.
Exactly.
When Yah, your Elohim, was your sovereign.
Huh?
This is Samuel talking.
Yeah, so why you crying now? Huh?
This is what you asked.
Just what you asked for.
And now here is the sovereign whom you have chosen and whom you have asked.
Uh-huh.
And see, Yah has set a sovereign over you.
You did.
If you fear Yah and shall serve him and obey his
I want
voice.
everybody to listen to this closely.
If you fear Yah
If you fear y'all
and shall serve him
and serve him
and obey his voice
and obey his voice,
and not rebel against the command of Yah,
uh-huh.
then both you and the sovereign who reigns over you shall follow Yah, your Elohim.
So everybody be okay if you continue to obey the same one that you rejected. Oh my goodness, come on. Even with the king who you put him over y'all. See, you do that right now today. You take the sacrifice and you put them over the Father. Even the sacrifice talk to you about the Father, but no.
But if you do not obey the voice of Yah and shall rebel against the mouth of Yah, then the hand of Yah shall be against you, as it was against your fathers. And now, stand and see this great matter which Yah does before your eyes. Is the day, not the wheat harvest? Let me call Yah so that he sends thunder and rain.
I want y'all to really notice this. Come on.
Know then and see that your evil is great,
what
you have done in the eyes of Yah, in asking for yourself a son.
A son.
Makes sense.
Oh, come on here. Come on,
that's just one of the commandments. They just told right on up.
They throw it up, but it'll be all right. Watch when they get. Say it again, Desiree. They tore it up, baby. Yes, they did.
And Samuel called to y'all, and y'all sent thunder and rain that day, and all the people greatly feared Yah and said,
come on, just one more. Yeah, give me one more.
And all the people said to Samuel, pray for your service to Yah, your Elohim, that we do not die, for we have added to all our sins this evil of asking for ourselves a son.
But see, the bad thing about it, they asked for him. They got him, but did they reject him? No. Did they stop serving him? No. Did they stop being his people? No. Same thing with you. You hear the truth. You know it's true, but do you obey the truth? No. You go right back to that tradition because it is what everybody is living. Everybody is following. You Sunday morning hallelujahs. But see, you want to know the bad thing about it? I'm going to prove to you that a lot of your teaching is a bunch of crap. Now, don't worry. You just have to take my word for it on this. Cause see, here. Wait a minute. Let me see, can I get the book of Jasher for you? Pull it up for you. Yeah, y'all see? Okay, we want everybody who has Google, you hear me now? Y'all hear me? Oh, okay. I will sound like somebody else. Go to my Google. Let me see. Google. Type in the book of Jasher. Jasher. It is a chapter 1, the book of Jasher. But we want you to go to, while you got that chapter 1, tap it again, go over, tap in 5, 6. I want everybody to get it, 5, 6. When you get to the 5, 6 sacred text, it's going to tell you that sacred text. Come on, Book of Jasher, can you read it? No, your connection is bad on that one. Let's go to the next one. Dun, dun, dun. Book of Jasher, there it goes. And when you get that book of Jasher, say it again. Jasher. Say it again.
Jasher.
Okay. You get to the book of Jasher. I want you to hold your little fingers there. All right. We're gonna go into which everybody goes with, the book. Now, we were taught if the Bible didn't say it, it's not true, right? That we were taught. We were taught that all the books of the Apocrypha was lies. And if it was meant to be in the Bible, I'm sorry, y'all, that coffee pretty good. If it was meant to be in the Bible, then it'll be in there, right? Well, I'm going to prove that statement to be one of the biggest lies you ever believe. How you mean that, Eddie? Go with me to Samuel. 2 Samuel. 1st chapter. 17 and 18 verse. Now I'm going to make a point. I'm going to make a point to y'all. All y'all who's believing and going and doing and this, I'm going to make a point. Come on. Can you read it for me? 2 Samuel 1, 17 and 18.
Then David lamented with his lamentation over Saul and over Jonathan, his son.
Yes, meaning David was crying because Jonathan and Saul got killed.
And he ordered the bow to be taught to the children of Judah. See, it is written in the book of Jasher.
Well, wait a minute. I thought you said none of the Apocrypha was real. And if it was, then it'll be written in the book. So they're talking about this book of Jasher. Well, let's go to the original book of Jasher. Let's stop playing. Don't play with me. Go to Jasher 56. Verse number 9. Engine number 9. Come on through and tell me time. Come on. What we got?
Only teach your sons the bow and all weapons of war in order that they might fight the battles of their brother who will rule over his enemies.
Well, my question is this. If the book of Jasher didn't supposed to be in there, how come it just? Help me out now. If I'm lying, help me out. How come it just back up to what you just read in your book, Samuel? 2 Samuel 1 and 18. How come the same verse is in Joshua 56:9? Because a lot of that stuff that they are teaching you is a lie. And they don't teach you the full truth. They don't teach you the whole thing because they don't want you to be as smart as them. Because if you know as much knowledge as they know, then my question is this: why would you need them? But if they don't realize that if the spirit of Yah is in you right, whoever Yah got up, whoever Yah got turned on, everybody, no matter if you know more than him, you will respect. Because Yah is using them. But you got this modern day spirit that because I know more, then it should be me up there doing it. When that is not the case. Remember, Miriam, Aaron told Moses, Yah speak to us also concerning him marrying an Ethiopian woman. And then Yah himself told them, who is I'm using? Aaron, is I'm using you? Miriam, is I'm using you? Since you talk, I'm gonna show you my power. Miriam became a leopard and had to be put out the camp. If it wasn't for Aaron crying to Moses, guess what? There would be no story of Miriam. Miriam wouldn't have even been recorded. But what is I'm trying to tell y'all? Stop paying that man every Sunday morning to read and study for you. Get off your lazy butts and start studying and show yourself approved. Quit coming to me and saying, well, my pastor said this. Well, what you say? Huh? You want a little bit more? Don't worry. We got a little bit more. Counsel, 2 Samuel 5, 19 and 21. Don't worry, I'll time that up. We ain't got nothing about 11 more minutes.
And David inquired of Yah saying, do I go up against the Philistines? Now, this is the difference between what you heard before and what you heard now. In 1 Samuel, they just got the ark, brought it down, took it upon themselves to go up the battle. David was smart because David knew I can't do nothing except you tell me. I can't even blink unless you give the okay. But a lot of y'all have done replace Yah with your own and begin to give what is yours power over you that you made with your own hands, that you clean up with your own hands. You paint and you take care of it with your own hands and you give it power over you. Come on, read for me. Help me out. Do I go up against the Philistines?
Do I go up and fight this battle?
Do you give them to my hand?
Do you give them into my hand, meaning I'm going to win or is they going to win?
And Yah said to David,
what y'all say?
Go up, for I shall surely give the Philistines into your hand. Now,
my question is this. All y'all who come on with all this law, I'm going to tear you up with this. When did the Father talk to you like this? All you people who serving the law and walking with the law, telling people you don't eat this and you don't eat that because the law says so. Well, my question is this: who is mightier, the law or the voice of Yah? Because back then they ain't had no written law. So how were they able to do what's right in Yah's eyesight without that written piece of paper that you throw up in my face every time? Yes, all you Jew what? Yes, it is. All the ones that follow Judaism. Don't you know that there is a great difference between you and a Jew? Understand, y'all, that this thing is more than what you keep on yoking the people up with, putting the yoke back on their neck. Come on, read.
And David came to Baal Perazim, and David struck them there.
Yeah.
And he said, Yah has broken through my enemies before me, like a breakthrough of water. So he called the name of that place Baal Perazim. And they left their images there, and David and his men took them away.
Now you think about that. He asked Yah, is I'm going to have victory. Yah gave him victory. And not only did Yah gave him victory, he tore up everything. Tore up everything. What is the deception?
That's verse 22.
And
when and the Philistines again came up and were spread out in the valley of Ramah.
Oh, afterwards they done spread themselves out. Come on, show me the mic now. What is the mic?
Verse 25.
Come on.
It says, and David did so as Yah commanded him, and smote the Philistines from Geba as far as Gaza.
Well, my question is this: when are you going to follow the word? Now, I'm showing you counsel. I'm showing you might through all the prophets. We ain't got but a few more minutes. Is we going to make it? You got a question?
Well, I'm just saying,
come on, get the question.
Verse 24, though. It say, and it shall be when you hear the sound of stamping in the tops of the mulberry tree.
Come on, when you hear.
Yeah, how you hear steps in the mulberry tops of the mulberry tree.
See, a lot of them don't realize.
That's the might of the Father.
That's the might of the Father.
Then he say,
even the trees. Watch. Oh, seriously. That's okay. We can start with 1 Kings next week. We'll do that. Let's take these few minutes and let's elaborate right quick. When you hear the stepping in the mulberry tree, a lot of y'all don't realize even the trees praise Yah.
Yeah.
And he is obedient. Even the trees and the rocks is obeyed Yah. Boy, they is obedient. My question is, you see, a lot of times you don't understand because why? The fear of Yah have left you. You is in a Ichabod spirit train right now. Ichabod is speaking in your ear because it's telling you right now, I don't believe what they say. Oh, watch this. A lot. Come on. What?
But, not to keep backtracking.
Come on.
But if you look at verse 23,
do it.
The Father told him, he said, and when David inquired of Yah, the Father, he said,
what?
Do not go up.
Do not go up.
Turn around
behind it.
And you shall come upon them in front of the mulberry tree. So usually the tactic is for you to follow after them. And pursue them.
Right.
But the counsel the Father gave him, he said, don't follow.
Don't follow.
Turn around and go this way. And then as they're running, you're going to be in front of them.
You will be in front of them.
But you're going to attack when you hear the stepping of the mulberry.
That's going to be your sign to come out and tear them up. You see, don't play with me no more. Stop playing with me. See? This is the one that you need to begin to recognize. Not this written stuff that makes you jump up and feel like you're more superior. See, the funny thing about it, anybody can memorize scripture. Anybody can try and do what's right. But my point is you doing what's right? That's the question. All y'all new moons, you arguing on Facebook about what day is a Sabbath, and the Saturday is not a holy Sabbath, and you going by the lunar calendar and all. Let me give you some piece of advice. You better start serving Yah every day. Pick you a day that you saying, Father, I'm going to dedicate this day to you, and stick to it, because the old covenant, meaning the agreement between you and him, is the same thing that you're doing now when you make a covenant with him and say, I'm going to start today and do it. Y'all still trying to do something that it wasn't even for you. Okay. I got 3 more minutes. Come on.
These are like examples. These are for us to go by and to know. It's like, what if he did that for them? Then he'll do the same thing for us. But we have to have that personal relationship because our forefathers messed up when they said, give me a son. And so now Emmanuel done came down. We don't have to wait on a sovereign. We don't have to wait on a priest.
Why?
We can go to the Father for ourselves and inquire of him. He said, come, let us reason together. Come. So he's designed and he wants to talk to us the same way he talked to Gideon, the same way he talked to different ones in the Bible, because he said he changes not. So he's still talking to us. We just got to get to a place where we can hear his counsel and obey. Get to the place where we can hear his counsel and obey what he says. And then, and only then, are we going to see the mightiness of the Father. See, now them people cross seas and where people's being raised from the dead and, you know, limbs growing back and all these stuff. These people inquired of the Father. They listened to the counsel and they did not deter from it.
No. So now, what is our problem?
We ain't seeking. We're not saying, Father, what shall we do?
Well,
we're not inquiring of him.
Well, we're following the law.
Well, if we inquire of him, we're not being obedient to what he says.
But we're following the law. The law says for us to do this, and we are doing what the law says.
The law? You talking about the one that's written on your heart?
No, talking about the law of Moses, the Torah. We follow his law because these are the laws that have been written.
But that was before.
No, this is for everybody through all generations.
But that was before our forefathers decided to ask for another son.
No, that was even after that.
No.
Yes, the law was there. Matter of fact, you and I supposed to be following the law now, because if not, they're going to call you a heathen or whatnot. But there's one question I'm going to ask before we leave. Everybody, Lottie, Dottie, everybody, because I only got a few more seconds. And I want you to give me the answer when you come back. Name me one person. That's all I ask. One person that the law saved. Since you want me to follow it. If you could give me one person that was saved by the law, I will follow it to the T. I can give you almost 1 million people that it did not save. You give me one person, we gonna follow. Hold on. Shalom. This is the end of our, and I know my wife is saying, what the world? But guess what? This is the end. Goodbye. Finished. And done. Now, I certainly am. I got to get this. Seeing this, I knew you was gonna come, no.